So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that have to happen before Jesus returns. The first thing is Matthew 24:14. The word of God has to be preached to all the world, and then the end will come. That has not yet happened. There are still people that have not yet received a translation of the Bible in their own language. They don't have a clear testimony of the Bible. So that's still to happen. Now, that may happen soon, within the next few years. There are people that are saying it will happen in the year 2024, and that may be possible, but it's definitely something that has to happen before the Lord returns. Number 2, Israel has to say, "Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord," or in Hebrew, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. And that is in Matthew 23:39, where Jesus said, "For I say to you, you shall see me no more till you say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." That has not yet happened either, although many people in Israel, Jews, have received Yeshua as their Messiah. So we can definitely see that that is close. We're getting close, but we're not quite there yet. The third thing on the list is the great falling away, or in Greek, the apostasia. So let me go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. "Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first." So the falling away is referring to a global event that will be recognized as a sign. This, I believe, corresponds to the 5th seal talked about in Revelation. What is it, chapter 6? I'll go ahead and go there. See, Revelation 6. So the 5th seal, "I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held." So someone is going to be killing believers or Christians. "And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?" Now, I believe that event where the believers are being killed because of their testimony happened because the first seal that was opened, where it's a white horse, he who sat on it "And I looked, and behold, a white horse. He who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him." So he has weapons and he has authority. "And he went out conquering and to conquer." I do not believe that is Jesus or Yeshua. That is not the Messiah. The Messiah is the one opening the seal, releasing the white horse. I believe this is the Antichrist. This is when he will be revealed, which is the next thing in the list. So anyway, believers are being killed. I believe it's the Antichrist who's basically trying to take over the world as much as possible, which is the next point mentioned in the same verse in 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 3. "Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition," which is the Antichrist. So that's number 4. And then number 5 is the tribulation. So, and I'm right here, I'm not making a distinction between the tribulation and the grand tribulation, although those are 2 distinct periods of time. But it's something that Jesus mentioned, and it's in Matthew 24, verse 29 to 31. "Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, which was just spoken of in verse 28, I believe, or 27. For as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. So that will be the sign of the Son of Man that's referred to here in verse 30. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds, or over the clouds, like above the cloud level of heaven, with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds. So the point here is the fifth thing I'm mentioning on this list of five is the tribulation that Jesus mentions here. So immediately after the tribulation of those days, which also speaks to when Jesus will be coming back. And I hope that is clear, even though it's implied. Okay, so more to come.